Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Year of Joy 2025. My name is Caitlin, and I'll be your host today. Now, you've planned so many incredible trips this year, and we're truly grateful to have been a part of the journey, supporting you, celebrating your wins, and helping you deliver unforgettable experiences to your clients. As we wrap up the year together, we're thrilled to kick off our Year of Joy webinar. Today is all about recaps, reflections, and a look back at some of the biggest updates and improvements we've released this year. We'll also talk about our ongoing commitment to helping you run and grow a thriving travel business. And before we close, you'll be getting the first look at a brand new, exciting feature launching in TravelJoy. Now, for this session, we're joined by many friendly faces from the TravelJoy team. In the audience, we have fellow Joy makers Cody, Marissa, and Heather, who will be monitoring the chat and answering questions in the Questions tab. We'll also be joined by Dio, our CEO and co-founder, for reflections on the year and a look ahead. Dio will take us through TravelJoy's journey in 2025, how we've grown, what we've learned from you, and how those insights are shaping where we're headed next. We'll also be hearing from Anna, Brandon, Andreas, Jamil, and Devin from our engineering and product teams, who will be highlighting some of our most exciting releases this year and provide a look at something new and upcoming. Now, just to give some folks who are joining some time to settle in, I'd love to share with you a bit about TravelJoy and who we are. At TravelJoy, our mission is to bring the joy back into travel planning. At TravelJoy, you get a centralized digital workspace to run your business smoothly and efficiently. Stay organized and stress-free with our CRM. Securely store client details, effortlessly connect with travelers, and manage tasks with ease all in one place. Want to create beautiful professional proposals and itineraries that will impress your clients? Our itinerary and proposal builder helps you craft memorable experiences that leave a lasting impression. Get paid with ease. TravelJoy's invoicing tools let you securely collect credit card authorizations and process payments seamlessly. Next, you can save hours by letting TravelJoy handle the busy work by automating routine emails, forms, and follow-ups. Plus, you can harness the power of AI to create complete itineraries and proposals in just seconds using the new Copilot tool. And finally, we've got you covered on simplifying group trips. Save time and stay organized with our groups feature. Create streamlined booking pages and manage group trips from one convenient tab. Now, the last thing I'll go over today before handing things off to our CEO, Dio, is just a bit of housekeeping. This webinar will be recorded and sent to you by email following the conclusion of today's event. If we go a bit too fast, not to worry, you'll be able to review the recording later on at your own pace. You'll also notice that we have the Questions tab open, and questions are welcome. To submit a question, please use the Questions tab just below the chat box. It's that little circle icon with the question mark in it. We are expecting a very large audience today, so we request that all questions be asked in the Questions tab only, as questions asked in the chat tab may get lost quickly. We'll try our best to ensure you receive an answer to your question today. However, if we're unable to get to everything in the allotted time, please feel free to reach out to us utilizing the blue chat button in the bottom right-hand corner of your TravelJoy dashboard or email us at hello@traveljoy.com. And last, we love hearing your ideas. They shape everything we work on. The best way to share them is by emailing us at hello@traveljoy.com, and we're happy to get that conversation started with the team from there. So take your notes and then send us an email so we can capture it all. With that, let's turn our attention to the heart of the journey, the moments that brought joy, the challenges that tested us, and the feedback that's guiding where we go next. I'll hand things over to our CEO, Dio, to walk us through what we've learned and what's ahead.
All right. Amazing. Thank you, Caitlin. All right. As Caitlin said, we've had a single mission at TravelJoy since our public launch in 2018. And that is, we are here to bring the joy back into travel planning. So I love seeing the activity in the chat. Let us know where you're coming from. Let us know what your holiday plans are. Let us know if it's too cold. I'm headed to DC. I heard it's 0 over there. So I'm not prepared as a California boy, but we're going to figure it out. So this mission of bringing the joy back into travel planning, it's a deeply personal one. I grew up in the industry, supporting my mom's travel agency business. I saw firsthand all the work that she put in, and I was also lucky enough to experience some of the results of that hard work. But since the very beginning, we've always started with advisor feedback, advisor pain points, and worked to the solutions from there. I like to tell a story of even in the earliest days when TravelJoy co-founder Chris and I were just starting. We interviewed over 50 travel advisors before we wrote a single line of code. We met advisors in their offices, at coffee shops, sometimes at the bar, sometimes in their living rooms. And it was that same thing in those interviews that I saw with my mom's travel agency. It was death by a million spreadsheets. It was work until midnight. But what we realized was it didn't have to be this way. 80% of the effort was busy work and overhead. It was not on revenue generating or leverage generating work. And we just couldn't ignore that. We knew we could have an impact. And so our vision was born to flip this old model away from 80% busy work to this new model of 80% curation. And ultimately, we started TravelJoy to enable the travel entrepreneur, you, to create more magic for your clients without all that stress and overhead that my mom had to go through. So this year, we really locked in on one clear theme: 10xing advisor productivity. We stepped back, we looked across the entire platform, we read your feedback, and we asked one simple but important question: where are advisors spending hours of their week, sometimes hours of their day, on work that really shouldn't require that much time at all? And once we identified those areas, we challenged ourselves and dug in. How do we eliminate all those hours altogether? Because we know if we can do that, we can make it easier for you to create magic for your clients, the things that only you can provide. So that's your expertise, your relationships, your judgment, the human touch that no AI can ever replace. So throughout the year, we focused our efforts across 3 key areas where we saw the biggest impact to the opportunity to 10x advisor productivity. That's AI and automation, client experience, and reporting. Let's start with AI. Our team has been working incredibly hard, and they've been developing this AI expertise for years. And this year, we were able to ship some of our biggest AI advancements yet. But I want to be super clear about something. Even with these leaps forward, we are just getting started. Our philosophy with AI is simple. It should quietly be working, removing repetitive work from your plate, but not changing how you show up for your clients. Some of the highlights from this year include client follow-ups. These used to live on your to-do list, but now they happen automatically in the background through our automated follow-up emails. The second advancement we released was suggested opportunities. These help you bring in new business while you sleep. By leveraging data from your past trips, TravelJoy can now surface smart and timely trip opportunities so you can re-engage clients proactively without having to remember who went where and when. And of course, there's Itinerary Copilot. Proposals and itineraries that used to take hours now take just minutes. So instead of starting from scratch, you're starting from a strong first draft that you can refine with your expertise and judgment. All right, that's enough telling you. Let's show you what this looks like in action. So we're going to bring up Anna from our product team for a live demo on some of the latest of what Copilot can do. Hey, Anna, take it away.
Thanks, Dio. Hey, everyone. I'm Anna. I'm a product manager here at TravelJoy, and I'm based in San Francisco, California. You just heard from Dio that this year we launched Itinerary Copilot, an AI assistant that lives right inside our itinerary builder. Based on the reactions we've heard from our advisor community, it's changed the game for how quickly you can create client-ready proposals and itineraries. Before, you'd spend hours, sometimes even entire evenings, on building these itineraries, copying and pasting details from suppliers, uploading images, reformatting, and dragging everything into the right order. All these steps meant that getting itineraries client-ready took a lot of your time. And all of that manual effort happened after the part that really matters and makes your expertise so valuable, the actual trip planning. Even after putting in the time to curate a great end-to-end client trip, you still had to spend hours formatting it into something that you could actually share out. Now, Itinerary Copilot turns your curated travel plans into a polished itinerary or proposal in a matter of seconds. With your guidance, it structures the itinerary, writes descriptions, adds context, and gets that draft 90% of the way there. Then you just review, tweak, and send. So let's take a look at how it works together. We are going to start from a totally blank page, and I'm going to copy in some trip notes to get started. So this is a trip to Lisbon and Porto in April. We have specific flights and flight numbers already picked out. That's included in my request. And there are also daily activities and private transfers mentioned as well. By the way, as we're watching Copilot build this itinerary in front of us, I want to point out that this Copilot window on the client preview, which is the page we're on right now, is new. You previously used Copilot just on the builder side of the itinerary. Now you have this new way to make updates and see the changes made in real time, exactly how your clients would see it. So no more going back and forth between the builder and then the preview to see the full itinerary experience. We now have that all in one place. Alrighty, so we can see that Copilot has already broken out the structure of that day by day based on the dates that I've requested. And we see that it's like adding in that train to Porto as well. I'm also really excited that you're gonna see not only have we made improvements to Copilot, we've also launched some new features since we first released as well. So I'm really excited to dig into that soon with you all. I'm going to jump down and just take a look at how Copilot is doing, building this itinerary right in front of our eyes. Oh yeah, it just filled in a ton of new stuff. Let me start from the top then. Great, we have a beautiful trip cover complete with this cover photo, title, and description that gives you a nice preview into the itinerary. We have, we can kind of see this preview from the trip overview on the left here, that departing flight full of information that Copilot has added here. We have a private transfer added and some highlights. Just scanning down this trip overview, we also have that train added, daily activities, and finally that return flight as well. All right, we can see that Copilot has added in this pretty long outline of this itinerary. This would have taken me maybe like multiple hours to get set up. So it's exciting to see Copilot build this just in a matter of moments. Next, let's add a package price and deposit. For this, I'm going to go into the itinerary builder just so we see Copilot working on both sides. So you have the builder here now. We can see that Copilot can continue our conversation whether we're on the builder or the preview. Let's ask Copilot to add in a package price and deposit here. Copilot can help you add pricing either at the package level or at the item level. So either way, no matter how you'd like to set up your pricing, just include those prices in your prompt and Copilot will add them to the right places. All right, deposit, total price added here and to the client view as well. We can see exactly what our clients will see when this gets sent over. Next, let's use Copilot to add items from my library. So I can do that by either clicking on this button right here or simply typing in the @ symbol in this text box to start searching. I can see the items that I want to add right at the top here. So I'm going to go ahead and add them. I have 2 hotels for Lisbon and 2 for Porto that I haven't quite decided between yet. So I'm going to add them, a total of 4, to my itinerary. I don't need to add in any other context. I'll just send those library items right over and Copilot will know that I mean to get them added to the itinerary. Previously, we had different tools for your proposal and itinerary building toolkit, all in different parts of the platform. But now we're kind of centralizing all of that. And you no longer need to leave Copilot to pull in your past work. All of your time-saving tools are right here in this, all in this chat. Alrighty, so we can see that the hotels have been added for, and let me exit out here so we can take a look. We can see that the hotel has been added for Lisbon. They're not quite in the right order that I would like them to be, but I'll come back to that later. And we can see the hotels for Porto have been added as well, straight from my library. Alrighty, after we launched Copilot 2 months ago, we've continued to release new capabilities like searching your library and adding pricing like you just saw. And we are not done yet. I'm excited to share a first look at 2 features that the team is currently working on, not live soon, but coming not too far in the future. All right, so soon Copilot will be able to help you set up options. So let's see how it works by turning the hotels we added into options. That way I can make a recommendation to my clients and they can tell me which they prefer. So I'm going to ask Copilot to do exactly that with the 2 sets of hotels that we have. 1 set in Lisbon and 1 set in Porto. Options are a great tool to help you collect your clients' preferences directly in the proposal. So there's no longer any need for you to go back and forth on a phone call or via email to gather your clients' preferences. That can all happen just in the proposal experience itself. So We can see that Copilot is currently working on building out those options. If you haven't checked out options yet, it's a great way, again, to collect your client preferences and reduce some extra steps in the trip planning process so you can get to that final trip as quickly as possible. Alrighty, it looks like we might be taking a little bit longer than usual to build these options. Let's take a look. That's all right. While we're waiting for the Copilot to finish up, I'll just add a few more things that Copilot can help you do on this itinerary. I didn't mention before that the images that are being pulled in from both the cover photo as well as the flights and the things like transfers are all coming in from Unsplash. So one cool thing that you can do to continue improving your itineraries and proposals is to ask Copilot to bring in other kinds of images and make sure that the visual appeal of your proposal or itinerary is exactly how you would expect. Okay, it looks like we're having a little bit of issue with our options. Again, this is currently being built. So this is like a fully live sneak peek demo. And we're excited to get this out, but we are still sanding down the rough edges here. So please bear with us. This is a live demo after all. So sometimes things don't go exactly to plan. Let's just move on. I'm going to ask Copilot to, it looks like it's still loading. So I am going to actually switch over to a new tab and ask Copilot to bring in another proposal that I worked on, just so we can kind of start from a better starting point to show us the rest of the demo. So I'm pulling in a past proposal for Lisbon and Porto that I was previously working on, so that we can start from a past proposal here, again, showing you how to use that through Copilot, and then we can move on with showing you all some additional cool functionality. Alrighty, so we have this copy added in here now. It looks very similar to what we were working on before. Let's talk about this final last sneak peek of an upcoming feature, which is improving the specificity of supplier details to help you conduct supplier research and make recommendations more quickly. So let's ask Copilot to make a dining recommendation in Lisbon. I'm going to ask Copilot to recommend an upscale Portuguese restaurant for our last day in Lisbon so we can say goodbye to that beautiful city for my client. And why are we working on this? It's because we've heard how much work it can be for you as the advisor to go back and forth from finding the perfect suppliers and gathering recommendations to getting that content into an itinerary format. We're here to help you simplify your workflow so there's less jumping around that you need to do. With these improvements to supplier research coming soon, you can both review high quality recommendations and add content to your itinerary at the same time. I see that dinner item added here to our last day in Lisbon, just like I requested. So it looks like there's some finishing touches being added, but let's start to take a look here. So what Copilot has done is added in a recommendation that's like upscale, just like I requested, and it's pulled in a lot of details as well. It looks like we got a little bit of a duplicate here, but that's okay. Copilot added in a specific address, the type of cuisine, and even pulled in some high quality and up-to-date images to accurately reflect this restaurant. And we can see that it's added a kind of specific detailed description to illustrate what this restaurant experience will be like as well for my client. All right, so we just saw a ton of functionality. Let's also quickly talk about who gets access to Copilot. Copilot is available on our Pro plan, which is our most popular plan, and on our Premium plan as well. Our Pro plan includes 50 Copilot requests a month, which is enough to create 5 to 10 proposals for most members. Most advisors with standard proposal usage can leverage Copilot freely without running into any limits. And for those who want to get even more out of Copilot, you can do so by upgrading to our Premium plan or just by adding on more Copilot usage. We've also heard from you that you'd like to see more visibility into your usage. So we've added a way for you to see that right in the window here in the top right-hand corner. So you can hover over this to look at your usage anytime. I have a higher limit of requests since I currently have the add-on in my account. So now more than ever, Copilot can handle all the busy work for you so you can focus on what you do best, designing incredible trips and building relationships with your clients. All right, back to you, Dio.
Awesome. Thanks, Anna. Love the early sneak peeks, live demos. Sometimes you take some risks, but super excited for options. That is exactly what we mean when we talk about going from hours to minutes, all of the detail, all the photos, the live flight tracking. Once we include options, the ability to pull in from your library, the ability to add pricing, so many amazing updates there. But as I'm seeing in the chat's going wild, which I love, but starting with that strong foundation and then layering in your expertise where it matters most, right? So polishing that last 10% is still very key. All right. The second area where we focused this year on 10xing your productivity was client experience. And our vision here is pretty straightforward. We want every advisor to look professional at every single client touchpoint. That means your brand showing up consistently across the entire journey. This year, we continued investing in helping you bring your agency branding into forms, invoices, proposals, and even group booking pages. We also made meaningful improvements in bringing client authorizations right into the proposal approval flow, so you save several steps in your workflow while providing your clients with that seamless experience. We've also leveled up the group booking page experience, reducing tons of time spent copying and pasting, trying to beautify the group booking pages, to now giving your clients a consistent professional experience that they would expect from your brand with much less effort on your end. Now, that's enough telling. We love the show. So to show some of these updates in action, we brought up Brandon here from our design team for a live demo. Take it away, Brandon.
Thanks, Dio. Hey, everyone. I'm Brandon. Like Dio said, I'm on our design team here. And I'm in Chicago, which is also pretty cold these days. So I'm going to walk through some changes that we made to group booking pages this year. We reimagined them because we wanted to make them not only faster to create and easier to manage, but ultimately better at converting potential travelers into paid bookings. And so we know from feedback, from looking at everything y'all made in group booking pages, it can be a lot of work to set up a really nice formatted group booking page. Previously, you had to draft the layout yourself. You had to pull in all the details for it. You had to format it just right, polish it to get it to a point where you were proud to share it with your audience. It was time consuming, required a lot of design work, but it also meant that you could potentially, details could get out of sync between group itineraries and group booking pages. And so now it's pretty easy to make a group booking page because you can generate them from your group itineraries. That may sound kind of complicated, but it's actually very straightforward, and I'm going to show you how to do that here. So in this example that I'm showing, we're going to be sending the group on a Christmas cruise, because like I said, it's cold in Chicago, so let's go down to the Caribbean. So I'll start by creating a group booking page. We'll just give it a simple name, Christmas Cruise 2025. And then you can see I have options to either connect to group itinerary or write a custom description. Custom descriptions are what we're calling that older way of creating group booking pages. You can still do that, but here I'm going to do this first way and create a group itinerary. I haven't created one yet, so I'll go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and edit it. Now I'm going to ask Copilot to draft this for me. And I'll walk through a few things while it's doing that. So I've asked it here to draft me an itinerary for a Royal Caribbean cruise that leaves on December 20th. One thing to note, right at the top here, you can see this banner that says itinerary connected to group booking page. That means that any content I'm putting in this group itinerary is going to be populated onto the group booking page. And so they're automatically kept in sync. And that not only helps us create a nicely formatted group booking page, it also helps to create packages really easily. I'll show that in a second. So our goal here is really to leverage all the different things that we're doing to make your workflow more efficient. So like you see me doing here, we can use Copilot to draft the group itinerary. Like Anna mentioned, it'll give me maybe 80–90% of the way there. I'm not going to edit it here once it's done, but I could if I wanted to get things just right. I can create my description however I want, update the header image. But then all of those are going to show up on the group booking page in a really nicely formatted manner. So it might just take another few seconds here. And I'll just note, as we're waiting for it to finish up, we're really always looking for these high leverage points where we're not only making your workflow more efficient, but also improving the interactions and the output that you're sharing with your clients. All right, so let's see what it made. Gave me a nice little formatted cruise. Looks like it didn't capture the staterooms. I could ask it to do that, but I'm actually going to keep moving forward just so we can kind of see what this looks like in practice. So let's go back to the group booking page editor. So I'm going to click view here and then go back to the editor. And before I preview it, I'm going to add a few packages. I'll show you how that's done. So I'll click add package in the same way that I always have. And let's just say, just for the purposes of this demo, I'm just going to say dinner package. But obviously you could do like a stateroom, you could do something else here. And you'll see this option here, connect an item. This is where I can actually link this package to one of the items from the group itinerary. I'm not creating a new package from scratch. I'm repurposing something I've already created or that the Copilot's already created for me. So let's say, actually this Old San Juan Forest Highlights, that sounds kind of cool. So let's say Old San Juan Adventure. And I'll just make up a price here. Let's say this costs $300. The deposit is $30. Available until the 20th, and final payment due on the 24th. I'm just kind of making this up. Save that. Package has been added here. And now let's go ahead and preview that group booking page. So you can see right away, this kind of feels like an itinerary. We're drawing some patterns from it, but really we're trying to optimize this layout for bookings. So I've pulled, or the group booking page rather has pulled from the itinerary this header image, title, description. I haven't touched any of these. Again, you can edit all this in the group itinerary. And then from here, a client viewing this page can go ahead and book a package. They can go through the kind of standard checkout flow for a group booking page, but they can also scroll down the page to kind of get a sense of the itinerary, maybe scroll all the way down to packages and book from here too. And so I haven't done anything to lay this out. It's all been done for me, but it's also captured all that content that I've added to the group itinerary. So again, we're looking for ways to not only make your workflow more efficient, but then improve the product that you're able to give to clients. So with that, I'll bring it back to Dio. Really appreciate y'all coming in here. It's great to see y'all. Thanks.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Brandon. That is a great example of how we're helping you show up professionally, consistently at every client touch point. And that group's experience looks amazing, looks just as good as the regular itineraries. So amazing work there, Brandon. All right. The third area we focused on is reporting and business visibility. We know this is a very important one. And our long-term vision is that every advisor on TravelJoy has a true bird's eye view of their business without needing spreadsheets or mental gymnastics to understand how things are going. So this year, we've invested in a couple of things like the daily briefing email and early foundations of what we're calling your business overview. This is about helping you quickly answer questions like, how's my business doing right now? What needs my attention today? And where is my revenue coming from? We're still in early days here, but we're really excited about the direction and the impact that this can have on your business. To show you what we've started building, and I'm very excited to say some surprise sneak peeks of what is coming next, I'm going to hand it over to Devin from the engineering team. Take it away, Devin.
Thanks, Dio. Hi, everyone. I'm Devin. I'm one of the engineers here at TravelJoy, joining you from Boise, Idaho. As Dio just mentioned, one of our goals is to give every advisor a clear view of their business. And one thing that we heard over and over this year was how much time you all were spending trying to answer a really basic question. How is my business doing? A lot of you told us you were exporting invoices and payment data out of TravelJoy into Excel, into Google Sheets, sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, and just to get a high-level view of your numbers. And that's time you could be spending engaging with your clients and planning trips, so we really wanted to fix that. And that's why we built our business overview report. This report takes all of the hard work that you're already doing, booking trips, invoicing clients, tracking commissions, and pulls it into one clear, high-level snapshot of your business. And as a little bonus for today's webinar, I also get to share a sneak peek at a few enhancements to this report that we're hoping to roll out very soon. So let's dive into it. So navigating to reports and overview, the metrics that we've started with here are total sales from all trips and groups that you've created, grouped by month of first payment received, total commissions, which works the same way, but with earnings via commission, total trips created, total booked trips, also by month of first payment, and finally, top clients and top suppliers ranked by total revenue generated. So across all of these visuals, we're giving you year-over-year comparison so you can kind of get that seasonal context. In-app descriptions and definitions, if you need a little reminder or if you want to navigate to our support article describing more. We also have these view more links that take you to the filtered specific source data. Let's check that out really quick. If you see something interesting or want to dig in on any of your numbers, you can always navigate a little bit deeper. And we also have hover over opportunities where you can see those specific values, calculated growth percentage. Even on these tables for top clients and top suppliers, you can see some of those specific values. And like I said, that growth percentage calculated for you. But now to get into the fun new part, you can also adjust the specific date range that these visuals cover. So whether you want to see year to date, last 3 months, or a custom range, it's all right here at your fingertips now. That way you can answer questions about your business exactly when you need to. So let's check that out. Filtering down to last 3 months, still the same functionality, but a little more zoomed in. And one really cool piece as well is if you click that view more link, that filtering is actually going to follow you into the drill down so that you can really focus on what you're trying to look at. And the other exciting piece that we're going to show you is we've also added the ability to filter by trip tags, whether it's a single tag or multiple at once. This lets you see how specific types of trips, clients, or packages are performing without digging through spreadsheets. So let's look at a quick example. Maybe we want to zoom back out a little bit, look at year to date. And if we wanted to zoom into maybe family trips and cruises, we can see a lot more detail around that specific segment. So just a few new levers to pull as you explore your data and plan your business, designed to save you time and give you clearer insights. Just to sum it all up, business overview is your at-a-glance view of how your business is performing right here in TravelJoy. No spreadsheets, no manual calculations, everything you need to understand your business health right here in one place.
Awesome, Devin. I'm seeing the chat go crazy. Great work. I'm really excited to see how easy this makes it to slice and dice your business data and quickly understand what's happening at a glance. Okay. Across all 3 of these areas, AI and automation, client experience, and reporting, the motivation was the same. Eliminate busy work, reduce mental overhead, give you your time back so you can focus on the work that actually grows your business and brings you joy. So as you can see, we shipped a lot this year, and there's actually more coming. But throughout all of those releases, we've also learned a lot from your feedback. One of the biggest learnings from this year is that you want to hear more from us about our vision and our plans more often and more in depth. We talk about our high-level vision all the time, but what we learned is that we don't always go deep enough into how that vision shows up in specific areas of the product. And when we don't provide that context, it can create uncertainty, even when the intent is good. Our approach has always been to underpromise and overdeliver. When we say we're going to do something, we mean it. We are never trying to be secretive or walled off, but we understand how even when our intention of not trying to disappoint was coming from a good place, we could still have communicated things much better. So I want to spend a few minutes walking through a handful of areas where questions came up this year and share how we're thinking about them. Not to overpromise features, but to be clear about our direction, our philosophy, and our intent. Let's start with booking. Our long-term vision is to be a truly all-in-one platform for travel entrepreneurs and to make advisors 10 times more productive. And we can't credibly be all-in-one without addressing payments and booking. Our goal is fully integrated booking that works for all advisors, whether independent or hosted or different category or specialty from your peers. Again, I want to be very clear. We are focused on building an all-in-one platform, not a host agency. A big part of 10xing advisor productivity is eliminating duplicate data entry, copying and pasting between systems, and constant tab switching that you have to do while managing the workflow. Now, we saw an opportunity to solve these problems by bringing booking onto TravelJoy that worked for some advisors, particularly independent and self-hosted advisors. For hosted advisors, we recognized that the way that we implemented that initial set of booking integrations put a lot of the onus on the advisor to report that commission to their host, figure out how to split the payment with them. We are working to improve this. In fact, earlier this summer, we announced our first important step in this vision with the ability to bring your own or your host credentials onto TravelJoy, starting with cruises. Of course, that work had been years in the making before that announcement back in August, which shows our long-term commitment to this vision. Our first host agency partner there was TPI, and we partnered with them because they share the same belief. Advisors deserve better tools and less overhead. We are excited to bring this to more host agencies who share this vision and more booking categories in 2026 and beyond. This is about removing friction and making advisors 10 times more productive, not about changing the advisor and host relationship. Next, let's talk about payments. This is another area we saw how important context and proactive communication is. Our vision is to build a secure, reliable, and scalable payments platform that advisors can trust with their businesses. Recently, we rolled out some changes to set up the platform for long-term stability. And the punchline of those changes was we limited some higher risk activity, including withdrawals to personal bank accounts for the purpose of paying suppliers. Now, many of you wanted to know, why were these changes necessary? Well, as we've grown and as the volume and complexity of payments on the platform has increased, we've had to meet stricter requirements from our payment partners, from the payment networks, and regulations. We've also seen some unfortunate incidents, even involving very experienced and trusted advisors who have been with us for many years, that made it clear we needed additional safeguards to protect everyone on the platform. For most advisors, your workflows were not impacted. However, many advisors were confused by our messaging, and for a small number of advisors, your workflows were impacted. We could have rolled out both of those changes more smoothly. A few of you were kind enough to spend time with me on one-on-one phone calls and give me feedback. And that feedback directly led to updated FAQs and help center guides, clearer messaging and an explanation video, improved workflows around planning fee withdrawals, and updated language to our supplier contract and invoicing requirements. We won't get it right. We won't get it perfect 100% of the time, but we promise to always listen to your feedback. Our goal here isn't to control or hold on to money. It's to improve the safety, security, and reliability of the payments platform that thousands of you rely on every day. All right, another area with a lot of questions was our new membership options and premium add-ons. Our ambition since the very beginning of TravelJoy is to serve travel entrepreneurs at every step of the journey, at every stage of their journey, whether they're planning their very first trip or facilitating millions in travel spend each year. And for a long time, TravelJoy was one size fits all. Same plan, same features, same price. And then we started to hear from many new advisors that TravelJoy was too expensive as they were ramping up their businesses, and some of the advanced options were a bit overwhelming. And then on the other side of the spectrum, we also heard from many established advisors who were scaling, who needed features that came with additional overhead or underlying costs for us to build. And so it was clear we needed to split the offerings to serve each audience better and at the price point that made sense for their stage of business. So this year, we introduced new membership options and add-ons designed to grow with you. We wanted to make a few important clarifications as part of this. Premium pricing and add-ons won't be the right fit for everyone, and we understand that. But just because something launches in premium tier first does not mean that it will never come to pro. Our goal and our ambition is to continue scaling and investing so that we can bring more of these capabilities over to pro in the future, and even more ambitious offerings to the premium tier to help you scale your business even further. Lastly, I want to talk about experimentation, something we do often. So specifically, I want to talk about a lead generation experiment that we ran. Now, our vision is big. Not only is it to help advisors streamline their business, but it's also to help advisors grow their business. And one of the most common problems we've heard over the years is getting qualified leads is one of the hardest parts of running my business. Now, some of the feature requests we hear from advisors are very clear asks. An example would be, I'd like to bring my agency brand colors into my forms. But others require a bit more exploration. Getting qualified leads isn't just a feature ask, but it's something that requires research, experimentation, and a lot of discovery to see if we can help and how we can help. For this experiment, we ran a small lead gen test with a handful of advisors across different specialties. Some of the marketing content was found by TravelJoy members, which invited a lot of questions. And in hindsight, we should have anticipated this and communicated this more proactively. We heard your concerns. Why are they working on this? Why didn't I hear about this sooner? How do I get involved? Are you using my data or are you emailing my clients? Let me start with first. No, we are never, ever going to use your data without your permission. We're not using your client data or contacting your clients now, ever, full stop. That was one of many experiments we ran this year, and we're going to continue experimenting to help advisors grow their businesses. Now, we typically have 5 to 10 small experiments running as is, but we're putting more thought into our process and communication moving forward. So you should expect from us from here continued listening, continued innovation and experimentation guided by your needs, and clearer and proactive communication. Ultimately, we want to be your innovation partner, and we know that means earning trust at every step. The biggest lesson from this year is that building great software isn't enough. We need to communicate more clearly, share more context more often, and bring you along with us before and as we build, even in the small experiments. As always, we appreciate your feedback, and we will always listen, just as we always have since day one. All right, as we look ahead to 2026, we want to be clear about one thing. We are more fired up than ever. We are not slowing down. You should expect more from us. Not more noise, not more complexity, but more value, more clarity, and more leverage for your business. Here's what that looks like at a high level. First, expect us to continue 10xing AI and automation across the platform. What you've seen this year with Copilot is just the beginning. Our focus in 2026 is on thoughtfully embedding AI and automation everywhere it can remove friction in your business. So busy work continues to disappear. You spend more time curating, advising, and building relationships, keeping you front and center at every step. And as we like to say, co-pilots, not autopilots. That last 10% still is where you create that magic and is still much needed in the process. On booking, we started with cruises. And in 2026, we're excited to bring more categories, more suppliers, and more host agency partners online. Our goals remain the same: eliminate errors, eliminate copying and pasting, eliminate duplicate data entry, and make it easy for your client to go from let's do it to you're booked, no matter your host agency or specialty. Your credentials, your IATA, and commissions and sales flowing exactly as they do today. On product improvements, as we mentioned, you can expect even more from us. That means clearer communication, better context around what we're building and why, and continued investment in the core features you rely on every single day. We are committed to showing up more consistently and more transparently. All right, I know I've said a lot. We've got more in store. We are incredibly excited about where TravelJoy is headed. We are grateful to be building it alongside such a thoughtful and engaged advisor community. Thank you so much for your feedback, your honesty, and your partnership. And we can't wait to keep building with you in 2026 and beyond. But 2025 isn't over just yet. Believe it or not, we've got even more to announce this year. Now I'm very excited to hand it back over to Caitlin to kick off some exciting end of year demos with 1 or 2 surprises baked in. So be sure to stay till the very end.
Thank you, Dio. Now, over the course of 2025, TravelJoy has rolled out over 50 new tools and features based on requests made by real advisors like you to help improve your day-to-day workflow. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to be showing you some of more favorite tools released in TravelJoy this year. Starting off with authorizations on smart proposals. As Io mentioned earlier, this year we introduced an easier way of collecting credit card authorizations directly through your client's smart proposal. Not only can they view and approve their proposal, but they can complete an authorization or a payment for their trip right then and there. I'm going to show you a quick setup and what this looks like to your client and the end result. So you can set up an authorization on your smart proposal by heading to the settings button at the top right and navigating over to the pricing tab. Now from here, you can put in the total price and deposit as I have done, but you also have the ability to show itemized pricing on items throughout the proposal if needed. You'll turn on an authorization down here at the very bottom, select that accept supplier payment. That's going to allow us to collect that credit card authorization. Select your terms and conditions from this drop-down menu here and choose your final payment date. So when your client views their proposal, this is what they're going to see. Not only will they see that beautiful proposal and the ability to approve it, they'll also see the pricing here, and they can use that approve and authorize button in the top right to move into that authorization flow. They're going to be able to sign and agree to your terms and conditions, as well as provide their credit card details. And once they've completed this and they've authorized that amount, it's going to generate an invoice directly within that trip automatically with those details. And in the payment schedule, you're going to see that authorized payment. So you'll be able to collect those credit card details and pay your supplier. Next, let's talk about our daily briefing email. So if you're not already using this helpful tool, I highly recommend checking it out. Enabling the daily briefing email in your automation settings tab will allow you to receive a daily report of trips and groups that are underway, recently collected payments, and your tasks due for that day, all in one handy email. You can turn it in at the very bottom, or turn it on rather, underneath the settings automations tab, and you'll see it right here. Just turn that toggle to on and select when you want to receive that email. All right, next up, another update that we made this year is sure to free up your time from chasing down replies from your clients. With our new follow-up automations, you can set up an email to be sent to your client automatically if they have not viewed a proposal, submitted a form, or replied to an email. One quick way of turning this on is, again, in the same automations tab. You have these client follow-ups here. This will allow you to turn on the follow-up automatically if a client hasn't viewed a proposal in a certain amount of time. You can select the email to be sent, or when the client hasn't submitted a form. You'll also have the option to turn this on when you're building a proposal, as well as when you're going through that form sending process on a trip. You can also set this up for email replies just by heading to a trip and popping into a message, scrolling on down, and right at the end here, you'll be able to turn on that automatic message if your client does not respond in a certain amount of time. You get to choose that, and it will send automatically for you. All right, I've got 2 more updates for you, and then I promise more exciting things are coming. Sharing updates. So some really exciting updates occurred when it comes to sharing things like proposal and itinerary library items with your team and with task list templates. Now you can share a proposal or itinerary item from your templates tab over here and select library. Any of these items can be shared with your team. Just select the one you'd like to share. Scroll on down on the right-hand side and check the checkbox to share this template with team members. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to talk to you about agency colors. So let's talk about branding. We know that branding is super important to your business. A small but mighty update can be found underneath your agency info settings, which I'll navigate to here. And this will allow you to change the color on client-facing buttons, like on proposals or on forms or on invoices. You can scroll on down, find that agency color. Select this box here to choose the color or add in the code if you'd like. You've got a picker here. Go ahead and, well, it's probably not lime green, but let's go with something like purple. Save it in place, and that color will appear on your client's facing documents. Awesome. All right. So quick succession of newer features this year from me. I'm now going to ask Jamil from our engineering team to join us on stage and show you the magic of bulk client tagging.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jamil, an engineer at TravelJoy based out of Round Rock, Texas, just outside of Austin. And this year, we made tagging a more powerful and strategic part of TravelJoy. We know that the better you can organize your trips and clients, the smarter you can grow your business, and tagging is a huge part of that. So client tags let you track your clients by their trip preferences, travel styles, favorite destinations, or any other category you can think of, email, age, anything like that. And it existed for a while, but the problem was that tagging was a relatively slow process. If you were aware, you had to click on the client profile, and then you could, add a tag. But this was a one-by-one operation. So what we want to do is introduce bulk tagging. And for this, we made on the client's list view, we have a client table, and you can select one or more clients. And from here, you can click the tag clients dropdown. And this presents the activities tag and any other tags that have been created. So if you want to add a tag to a client, you can click it and it instantaneously shows up in your table here. You can remove them, and then you can add new ones such as Disney or boutique hotels or anything that suits your fancy for client tagging. After you have added tags to the clients, you can search them in the global search, just like you can with other fields. So if you want to find out all of your clients that have specific tag, that's the way to do it. And for one of the more powerful use cases for tagging, we have email marketing. And for that, I want to turn over to Andreas for a very special surprise announcement there.
All right. Thanks so much, Jamil. That was awesome. Hello, everyone. It's really great to see so many familiar names on this call. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andreas. I'm based out of Brooklyn, New York, and I'm on the product team here at TravelJoy. And I think a lot of you are going to be very excited about this last update. This has been one of the most requested features over the years, and we are finally delivering on it. We are launching email marketing. I'll say that again. We are launching email marketing. So you'll now be able to send polished professional marketing campaigns right from TravelJoy. This keeps you top of mind with leads and past clients, helps you get more referrals, more bookings, really so you can grow your business. You will be able to send that time to start thinking about summer travel campaign, or maybe a reminder about a cruise promotion, or just your monthly newsletter right in TravelJoy. And practically speaking, this is now one less platform where you need to be managing your client list separately. Your clients are already in TravelJoy, and now you can send them email campaigns there too. No more having to export your list from one place and import it into some other tool. You can keep everything all in one place, working together the way it should. Now, let's talk a little bit about access. So email marketing will be available to both Pro and Premium members, but at different levels. So Pro members get email marketing included with your existing plans with a sending limit. If you are on Pro, you'll be able to send 12 campaigns a year, up to 300 recipients for each campaign. So this is good if you're dipping your toe into email marketing, you're sending occasional campaigns, maybe a monthly newsletter. If you need to get under that 300 recipient limit, we recommend using client tags to help you filter, to segment your list. Now, if you're looking to go deeper with email marketing and you need more sending volume, you can either upgrade to Premium, or you can get email campaigns as a standalone add-on. Now, Premium members and folks with the add-on will have unlimited sending volume. So both in terms of number of campaigns and number of recipients per campaign, right? There's no cap on the number of emails that you can send out. Now, while I wish I could offer unlimited emails to every single person on TravelJoy, there's real infrastructure cost to be transparent for us here. Sending millions and millions of emails, monitoring deliverability, maintaining your sender reputation. We are building this to work really well for you, which means investing in the systems that keep your emails landing in inboxes and not going to spam. With this model, we make sure casual senders can get started easily, and heavy users get the scale they need without compromising quality for anyone. Okay, so now let's take a look at how it works. All right, here we go. So you'll see now there's going to be a new tab here in the left-hand nav called Campaigns. And the way that it works is you're going to be able to come in here, add a name for your campaign, choose who you want this to go out to. So by default, it goes out to all elite travelers on your trips, or you can select by client tag. I hope you have a few more clients than I do. I have a very meager 6 here in my test account, and choose your subject line. Now, when you set this up for the first time, you'll let us know what email and sort of firm name you want us to use. You'll also send us your unsubscribed list. If you have one, we'll make sure to respect that if you're kind of moving over from another email marketing software. I also just want to call out, this is really important. We will need you to have a custom domain to send marketing emails through TravelJoy. Right now, we can't use free providers like Gmail or Yahoo. They have some pretty strict limits, sending limits and rules that prevent us from kind of reliably sending out marketing emails at scale on your behalf. So you'll need to use an email address on your own domain. So Andreas at wanderingwavestravel.com. And here I have a template for a cruises email. So we wanted to make this a really easy drag and drop interface, right? You can see all of these kind of options here. And I'm just going to show you how to kind of come in here and quickly add to your email as you build this out. So I'm just going to pull in, let's say, an image for starters, kind of show you how easy this is to upload. There you go. Here's this kind of nice banner image. For this cruises email, I can also come in and pretty easily edit text. So I can say something like, just hit reply and let me know where to. And that's really it. All I have to do is hit save up top to kind of save this as a draft. You can kind of come in here as well, get a preview of what this looks like in different formats, right? If you want to see how this is going to show up on mobile, and most people are checking email on their phone these days, you should be able to do that in here. All right. And now the last thing, I just want to show you how to send it out. So I can come in here. You'll see I have a few different options to schedule send out either later today or a later date. I can also come in here and schedule this for any kind of custom time of my choosing. I know a lot of people are up at 11 p.m. building these things out. You want them to go out the next morning. We want to make sure you're able to do that here. And finally, because this is just for my cruises folks, I'm going to come in here and for now, hit send. So you'll see this message, hit send, and that is it. That's now gone out to all 2 of my clients, right? You'll have a record of that here. We are starting with a small beta test while we ramp this feature up. If you would like to join this beta, I'm going to be dropping a sign-up form in the chat, or maybe Marissa will do that for me. Just fill that out. Keep an eye on your inbox. We will email you when email campaigns are live in your account. Thank you so much again. We are so excited to get this out to all of you. And with that, I will turn things back over to Caitlin. Thanks, everyone.
Amazing. Thank you, Andreas. We are so excited to see these new email capabilities, and thanks for all the love in the chat. It's so fun to see that everyone's just as excited as we are for this. Before we wrap up, I do want to share one last exciting surprise. So our entire team here at TravelJoy is in the middle of what we call a hack week right now. Hack weeks are our chance to step back from the day-to-day and tackle problems from a completely different angle. We break out of our usual teams, work on things we might not normally have the bandwidth for, and get creative with solutions to challenges that have been sitting on the back burner. Now, this week, we're focused on feature requests that, for one reason or another, we haven't been able to tackle in our regular roadmap. We received over 2,114 feature requests this year, and while we wish that we could get to them all, it isn't always possible. Not everything built during Hack Week makes it into product. Some projects turn out to require way more work than a week allows. Some may not quite meet our quality bar to be released, but many of them do make it through. And sometimes they end up being some of our most beloved features. So here's where you come in. As a thank you for joining us live today, we're giving you the chance to vote on a Hack Week project winner. After Hack Week ends, you'll get an email with more details, so please keep an eye on your inbox early next week. We're excited to have you a part of this process. All right, folks, now we are ending our webinar here in just a few moments. I do want to close things out by going over our help center and how to get in touch with the TravelJoy team, especially if your question was not answered today. We had a lot of them. Or if any questions arise after we conclude. Starting with our help center, help.traveljoy.com. Marissa, if you wouldn't mind throwing that in the chat for me. This is our help center with hundreds of guides designed to help you learn how to use TravelJoy and its features. You can also email us at hello@traveljoy.com or use the blue support button in your account on your dashboard. It's in the bottom right there. We typically do have live chat support, but it is currently paused for the holidays and will resume in the new year. Now, thank you all again for joining us today. As mentioned, you will receive a recording of today's session by email about 5 minutes after the session comes to close. Woo! Now, I also want to take a moment to thank my fellow team members for helping provide answers to your questions in the questions tab, as well as those who presented live on screen today. If I can invite them up to say goodbye as well, I would really love that. We can get all of your shining faces back up here. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us for this very special webinar. We hope you enjoyed seeing our most popular releases of 2025, as well as learning more about TravelJoy's journey and what's to come. On behalf of the entire TravelJoy team, we wish you a wonderful holiday season and the happiest of New Year's. See you in 2026. Bye, everybody.